Monday, November 25, and it's 30 days until Christmas. Let's tell you what's happening. Multi-million-dollar Region 9 main access road commissioned over the weekend, and Mahdia celebrates 1 year as a municipality. The details of this and more in today's Info Hub. We begin with some major news. The Barak Retreat Corridor, which is the main access road into the Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo region, has been commissioned. Shaquille Bourne was in the region over the weekend and has more to tell us.
Lethem, it is finally here. After the investment of $473 million, the dual carriageway Barak Retreat Corridor has been completed. During the commissioning ceremony here in the township, Prime Minister the Honorable Moses Nagamutu said that this project has become a reality due to the government's dedication.
It takes vision, it takes plan, and we can use Lethem as an example of where we have this vision. President David Granger is the man with the plan. The first thing he did was to transform this village into a town. And once you have become a capital, Lethem has become a capital of Rupununi, then it requires certain status. It has to have certain facilities. And part of those facilities would be new roads.
According to Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, the Honorable Sidney Alicock, this road will be an economic driver for the township.
This road was not built for party members or for a special set of people. It is being built for each and every Guyanese, because that is what the coalition believes in.
It was Minister of Natural Resources, the Honorable Raphael Trotman, who used this moment to capitalize on other successful projects in the region.
Today you have a road, you have a radio station, and you have two roundabouts. Give yourselves a round of applause.
The Minister of Public Infrastructure, the Honorable David Patterson, under whose leadership this project has become a reality, announced other plans for the region.
This road is a part of an overall development program for Lethem. The AP and UAFC government sees Lethem as our Mecca in the south. This is, ladies and gentlemen, only the very first piece of this puzzle. Going on, internal roads. When I say internal roads, the remainder of the roads will continue in 2020 and beyond.
I will now hand you over to Isaiah Braffett, who spoke with some residents within the region.
A big relief is what residents of Lethem are calling the newly paved roads in the town. That is, moving from potholes to smoother and dust-free travel.
You have better access, I could say, because I remember when you had to go home, you had to go through the road wasn't really good. You had to ride and take your time. You had to look out because it was quite dangerous. But now, as you can see, the road is, it's way better than before, and it makes things much easier.
No, well, of course, the road is better now than before. And from a person that got a vehicle, the road before, every minute they got running in the workshop and them kind of things. So it's very good now that the road paved, and it would be better if we see more road being paved.
Reporting from the township of Lethem, I am Isaiah Braffett with videographer Leon Leong for Info Hub.
Also over the weekend, the municipality of Mahdia in the Pataro-Siparuni region celebrated 1 year as a capital town. The observance was held under the theme, Celebrating Our Gains, Showcasing Our Culture, Securing Our Future.
Amidst challenges, Mahdia's 1 year anniversary as a municipality comes at a time when it is on the fast track to development. Minister of Public Health, the Honorable Valda Lawrence, delivered the keynote address at a simple ceremony to kick off activities in observance of this milestone.
As we celebrate, comrades, the AP and UNAFC coalition spearheaded your development in its mere tenure of 4 years. And we must mention that, and we must never forget that. It didn't take us 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. When we came to office, we knew that we had to ensure that Madhya, among the other hinterland communities, receive positive development.
Madhya's mayor, His Worship David Adams, said the town, like its people, is determined to thrive despite the challenges, hence the benefiting nature of the celebration's theme. He outlined successes thus far.
Despite all these challenges, your council has endeavored to administer the affairs of this town in a fair and transparent manner. Solar street lights are being installed at predetermined locations around Madhya, and plans are afoot to install similar lights at Chumatumari Junction. A smart shop, a smart stop, complete with Wi-Fi and internet services, will be built in the vicinity of the hospital in the coming weeks.
Madhya is becoming the place where most coastlanders and even foreigners are looking to ply their trade, as the main economic activity in and around the town is mining. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
The village of Shia in the Deep South, Region 9, received a sum of $1.5 million to boost its agriculture drive.
Shia is a Wapichan village located in the Deep South Rupununi with a population of over 400 persons who practice subsistence farming. A part of its 2019 presidential grant, the village opted to expand its agriculture drive to more large-scale farming of cash crops at a cost of $1.5 million. Over the weekend, Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Allicock traveled to the village and delivered the check and encouraged the village council to ensure each household benefits, citing the example of family-owned farms.
I want you to really use it for, you could have family farms and benefit from it because your children would eat, you would eat, and you could sell.
She is known for the famous Sheer Rock, which is a tourist attraction. Minister Allicock called on the villagers to develop their tourism package and explore other projects that will improve the village economy through the creation of jobs.
This big rock here is a big draw for Shia. And you have to get the people who knows about tourism. You already are here. You know the area. All you have to do is focus. You could have people landing in Aishalton, coming down here. You have to pick them up there. You have to get your transport. You have to learn how to meet and greet people, how you present your foods, and I'm quite certain you're already doing that, because I know that persons come here to ride up the rocks and stuff like that. But you have to take control. It must be you who managing this business. Nobody else. You, this is your home, this is your rock.
The Presidential Grant Program is one of the significant interventions undertaken by the government to boost economic and social development for Indigenous peoples in their respective communities. Villages and communities receive between $500,000 to $2 million based on the population size. Seneca Thorne, InfoHub.
When we return, Attorney General outlines coalition government successes, the large Guyanese gathering in Antigua, and ATVs and motorcycles handed over to Region 9's Health Department. Details of these and more after the break. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, the Honorable Basil Williams, has laid out the coalition government's successes to date as he addressed a large Guyanese audience in Antigua and Barbuda. According to a Guyana Chronicle online report, the Attorney General expressed his appreciation for their contributions to the country while urging them to return to the green grass of home. A.G. Williams is on the island for the 50th plenary and working group meeting of the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force, CFATF, in Antigua, which opens today. As Guyana heads into general and regional elections, the Attorney General highlighted the tremendous progress made over the past 4 years, noting that a coalition government has established a model of inclusionary governance. More on this story can be read on our website dpi.gov.gy. More good news, this time in the public health sector. Delicia Haynes reports that all-terrain vehicles and motorcycles were handed over to the Region 9 Health Department to boost efforts in zeroing maternal and neonatal deaths in the region.
Maternal and neonatal deaths in the hinterland have been on the decline within the last few years. The Ministry of Public Health continues to deliver with efforts to further reduce the statistics. ATVs and motorcycles were handed over to the Region 9 Health Department to aid in this effort. Minister of Public Health, the Honorable Valda Lawrence, explained how this will benefit villages in Region 9.
Many of you on the coastland who will be watching this will say, oh, it's just a few bicycles and 2 ATVs. But I can assure you, to the people in the savannas and to the people in the north Rupununi and even central Rupununi, this is like good gold, solid gold to them, because accessibility is not as easy as we do it on the coastland.
90% of the region's community health workers and primary health care staff are women who will utilize the transportation to effectively carry out their duties in saving lives. Home visits to provide pre- and postnatal care will be boosted with the availability of the ATVs and motorcycles.
Latham and its surrounding, they are very big areas. The health center, for example, might be in the center, but these health workers will have to travel miles, kilometers before they reach individual homes. So this they used to do home visits, even during the pregnancy period and after delivery as well, to take care of the mother and the baby as well. It allows them to not only do interpersonal visits, but to take resources, do vaccinations out in the communities.
That was Dr. Niall Utman, Regional Health Officer. The donation was made possible through an Inter-American Development Bank loan to the Public Health Ministry to address needs in Regions 3, 4, and 9 towards zeroing the maternal deaths.
A team from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Civil Defense Commission conducted visits to several communities in the Mahaica-Berbice region that were affected by the recent spring tides.
Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Dr. Karen Cummings, and the Civil Defense Commission facilitated the visit to Region 5. The high-level group of diplomats toured communities within the Danzig to Planters Hall areas and were able to get first-hand knowledge of the flood impact on farmers in the region.
And so we are here to look-see, be on hands and spot to assess the situation and to see the impact that this flooding has made to the communities and see what assistance we can get. So we go back to the drawing board and see how we work together as a team to see how we can bring relief, not only in the intermediate and mid-term, but in the long term.
The October 27 to 30th unusual high tide saw some farmlands in Region 5 being inundated with salt water. The government, through several ministries and agencies, has undertaken emergency efforts to arrest the breaches in the areas and to provide relief to many affected residents. Additionally, the Sea and River Defense Department of the Ministry of Public Infrastructure continues to work assiduously to cushion the impact of flooding in these vulnerable communities. Meanwhile, the Civil Defense Commission, along with the Government of Guyana, has already established an emergency disaster relief team should any severe incident occur. For InfoHub, I am Kellon Rover.
Before we go, here's a reminder to check our website, dpi.gov.gy, and Facebook and Instagram pages for reports from the government ministerial meeting to the Rupununi starting over the past weekend. That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy, and pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye for now.